morning. Today is Monday, February 10th, and we do have a birthday today. Today is my pal, my buddy, Diana Antu. Today's your birthday. You knew that. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Diana. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Diana's been with me since the beginning. I think she's one of my first 10 subscribers. Actually, that's when Denise and I started the channel. She was one of the first 10. And I think she was one of the first 10 to transfer over to my new channel. But Diana, I hope you find your cake. She's on a hunt for her cake. I think she said it was a pina colada cake. You got to do like I do. My turtle cake is my favorite, my all-time favorite. But they don't always have it in the bakery. And so to assure that they have it on my birthday, I always order it in advance so I can have it. I don't know if you can tell. We got some more snow. And it's got an ice base underneath it, so I'm definitely not walking. So Jim's working days this week. So I came out. This is my new passion now. Who'd have known? Who'd have thunk? Who'd have thunk I would like shoveling snow? But I got my workout in because I took my time because I know I'm not a spring chicken, but it was kind of heavy. It was heavy snow. So it took me a little longer than if it would have been a regular snowfall. So I took my time, took my rest periods, and my heart never, I have a Fitbit that tells me my heart rate, so my heart rate never went to a dangerous level. So I kept track of that to make sure. But today I wanted to talk about negative thoughts because it happens in life, and I kind of equate sometimes negative thoughts to jealous thoughts because sometimes, you're human, and so you kind of envy somebody that's doing really well, and you have a negative thought, and that's not good. And it's even worse if you express that negative thought. There's a difference between a negative thought and a constructive thought, because if you're giving somebody a criticism that's constructive, and you can see they're open to it, then by all means, give them your opinion. I tend to not do that unless somebody asks me for my opinion, and I always preface it by saying, if you're asking for my opinion, I'm going to be brutally honest. So if you don't want me to be brutally honest, don't ask for my opinion, because I really do think if someone's asking you for your opinion, they really want your advice. They really do. But most people, and I think a lot of people, not just most, but I think a lot of people, unless they ask for it, they really don't care what you think. They really don't. They think that they're doing well, and until they come to the realization that they're doing well, they're happy to live with that. So is it really worth losing a friendship or something to give them a negative thought? Sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and let it go and not say anything. And sometimes that is the best advice you can give them. It really is, because they can read your language, and they can, if they really are a true person of friendship or supporter or an encourager, they know that, they're holding back because they know that I'm not ready for a negative thought right now. Because a negative thought can really set your whole day, your week, your month, your mindset. It can set it in motion, and not in a good way. So I always try to have positive thoughts. I think I'm a pretty positive person. That's not to say that I don't have negative thoughts come into my head. I doubt myself just like everybody else does. And sometimes I think it's healthy to doubt yourself just a little bit, because I think when you doubt yourself, you want to prove yourself wrong. And so you make that much more effort to prove yourself wrong. Especially if somebody tells you something that you don't want to hear, you think to yourself, I'm going to show them. And then you have a positive thought. So maybe their negative thought was really helping you to get to a positive thought, because it really does change your whole perspective of how you think of your whole life in general. Nobody wants to be around a Debbie Downer. And I'm sorry if your name is Debbie. I got to think of a better analogy than that. But the two D's go together, like Sassy Sandy, because I am kind of sassy. But a negative thought will determine, if you wake up with a negative attitude or a negative thought, and you live with that thought for most of the day, I can guarantee your day's going to be negative, and it's not going to turn out well, because you have that whole aspect. My sister Mary had spinal fusion surgery, and she has the greatest attitude, and she's getting around so well. And she's up to 8 hours without her pain medication, and she's determined, and she's thinking positively. Now, there was the other day where she had a little bit more pain, and so she took the pill. She didn't wait the whole 8 hours. So she's judging herself on her pain tolerance level. Most families, and definitely in my family, we have addiction issues. And so we really have to steer clear of it. I know that when I was on Vicodin, I took was it Vicodin? With my knee replacement. And I only took it for less than a week. And I thought, you know what, I'm abusing it. I really thought I was abusing it. And so I started taking myself off of it. And I started having the cold sweats and like the vomiting. And I thought I was coming down with a cold. And I called my doctor, and he had me come in right away. And we determined that I was going through withdrawal. Now, I was only on it for 1 week, and I was already going through withdrawal. So my body, I know. And I could have had the negative thought, well, I'm going to get addicted anyhow, I might as well take it. But I had the positive thought that, I'm going to offer up this pain for something. And I'm a firm believer in God. I'm very strong in my faith. I offered up my pain levels up to God. And because even though the Catholic Church says there's no more purgatory, I do believe that there's a purgatory. You can't go, like there's no St. Christopher. Who was helping me get from point A to point B my whole life? It was St. Christopher. He was watching my journey. So I can't think that one day they say, no, he's not a saint anymore. He's not guiding your journey. And like purgatory, I just think that sometimes, like when you go to the doctor's office, you got to have a little bit of a waiting time. You don't just go right in. Just because your appointment's at 1 o'clock, they don't say, oh, you're here, come on right in. No, I have an appointment today with my thyroid doctor at 12:45. I'll be very fortunate if he calls me back there at least by 1 o'clock. But I'm thinking it'll be 1:15. I have to do that little waiting period. That's how I believe in heaven, that there's a little waiting period. I do think that I'm going to go to heaven. I'm hoping I'm going to go to heaven. I'm thinking I'm living a pretty good life. But I think Mother Teresa shot right to heaven. I don't think she had to sit in the waiting room in the least little bit. I think that they just said, open up that door, let her in. But there's other people, they gotta do their time. And I don't even know how I got on this subject. Oh, that being addicted to things. So anyway, just remember to have positive thoughts today. If you can't have a positive thought for the whole day, try to have a positive thought for 5 minutes. And then after 5 minutes, try to say, well, you know what, this felt pretty good for those 5 minutes. Why don't I try 15? And then gradually work your way up, because I always think that a positive thought is always going to get you to your destination. Even if you get lost, you can have, I'm positive, I'll go back on Google Maps and I'll find my way. It's the same thing. You screw up on a meal. I don't want to name anybody, but somebody had a piece of cake, and then they had a second piece of cake, and then they were feeling guilty. No, you had the 2 pieces of cake. You enjoyed them. You can't take it back. Move on. Just go on to the next day. Go to the next meal. It's just one time. One time you had a little bit of a, just climb right up, It's like they say, you're not going to let one little mistake define your whole life. And not that that was a mistake to have 2 pieces of cake. That sounds good right about now. But anyway, job well done. I'd like to look at the driveway when I get. There's still a little bit, like when Jim pulled out the tire tracks, I couldn't get that. But the sun, we have the sun out. It's kind of nice out. It's with the wind chill it's 25, but I think the actual temperature is 31. It's like a heat wave out here. It's like a heat wave. So remember, positive thoughts, because a negative thought's just going to do you in. And have a positive thought. And I'm thinking positively for my brat over at Smack Vision. She so wants to get into Wonderland today. So I'm sending out positive vibes to Angela. Because Angela at Smack Vision, I have a feeling. We talked yesterday, and she was kind of doubting that she was going to have a good loss today. And I said, I'm positive. I have positive vibes. And I'm spreading the positive vibes onto all of you guys too, because I'm positive that this is our year, and this is the year we're going to do it. I know it. Okay, I'm not going to be able to eat breakfast before I go, because I shoveled the snow and I got to take my shower, and then I was laying in bed for a while. And but I'll eat enough points today. No need to worry about me. I am positive I'm on my way. So let's go see what Mary's doing. Okay, I just saw my doctor about my parathyroid, and he said all the numbers are looking good. They're encouraging. I'm doing better. I guess the vitamin D supplement is helping. So I just have to wait 3 more months, and then I have to go get a scan of my thyroid, and then we're going to go from there. But good news, no surgery, no medications. He says I'm doing well. So that was good news. Okay, let's go home now. Let's go eat because I'm hungry. Okay, I'm going to eat breakfast. I'm going to have some fruit, oatmeal, tea, and water. There's my oatmeal and my milk. Started my day with a prayer. It's February 10th. Your quote is, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're always right. Thomas Edison. It's 5 points, 0 for my egg, berries, banana, tea, and water. 4 points for half a cup of oatmeal, and 1 point for my quarter cup of 2% milk. Here's my ingredients. There's my breakfast. Okay, Mary's friend brought over a taco salad, so I'm going to have this. I looked up Taco Bell taco salad, and it came up 8 points, so that's what I'm counting it as, and 3 points for my 2 tablespoons of sour cream. So it's 11 points. I still have 7 points left. I'm going to have iced tea. Okay, that's it for tonight. I know I didn't eat a lot today, but I'm not really that hungry. You know how some days you have days where you're really, 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 really hungry? Well, that's how I am today, but I'm really, 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 really not hungry. So I'm not going to eat just to eat. And I'm not depriving myself. I know you worry about me, but don't worry about me. I'm just not hungry today. It wasn't an eating day. Now, who's to say? Maybe tomorrow I'll be grazing on everything. Who's to know? But I'm not going to eat something just to eat. Mary's going to go home tomorrow. I'm bringing her to her doctor's appointment. Well, it's going to be judged on what the doctor says, but she's getting her stitches out tomorrow. And her husband is retired, so he's going to be able to take care of her now. She does pretty much everything on her own, and so we don't really need to worry about her. She makes her own breakfast and lunch. Her friends and my sister Denise have been bringing her dinners, so she doesn't really have to worry about that. So Don will cook for her. He's a pretty good cook. And Don's her husband. And she's doing really well with her pain management, and she took a shower all by herself today. So, and like I said, Don can help her with her shower. So, and you know, you always feel more comfortable in your own home. You know, it's nice having people helping you out, but you know, like, you just rather just be in your own home, and I completely understand that. So, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button, and share if you think somebody might like to see it. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow.